Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry. Welcome to our Music Minute, a chance for us to look at our hymns that we'll be using in worship tomorrow. And we're going to go in order today. So we'll start with the entrance and gathering hymn, Great is Thy Faithfulness, one I think that most of us will know. The hymn was written in 1923 in New Jersey, and its author was quite the multifaceted person, if you will. He was a rural school teacher in Kentucky, and he did that when he was 16 years old. So that's kind of amazing. He went on to become a newspaper editor, and eventually he was ordained in the Methodist Church, and then he became ill. I think he was there about 10 years. He became ill, and then he became an insurance agent as he left that and went to focus on his health. During that time, though, he wrote more than 1,200 poems, and this is one of them that we see here. It's built on quotations from Lamentations and the book of James. So this is Great is Thy Faithfulness. And then we'll move to our hymn of the day, which is very different from that one. It's Have No Fear, Little Flock. And the first stanza here comes nearly verbatim from the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 32, which I think you will hear in the gospel lesson today, or tomorrow. It's a cheerful tribute or praise to God. Its writer really struggled with thyroid disease in the entire life span. And the quote that we get here from him is, quote, "What I learned from my own illness is that God will restore you, even if your body has to die first." And the composer of the tune was born in Germany. He began composing at the age of 8, and he has a strong jazz influence in his work. So you might pick up a little bit of that as we sing the hymn, particularly in the arrangement that I'm going to play now by Aaron David Miller. It's very jazzy, and so you'll really get it in this, I hope. Have no fear, little flock. And then we're going to go to Communion Hymn, Day by Day. And the text actually for this was an illustration to a story that the author wrote for a calendar. So that's the history of that one. And this talks about the pendulum of the clock is the story that was for the calendar, which, the pendulum was just so worried about all of these back and forths that it had to do in its lifetime or the day, and how stressful that was. And really the moral to the story was that we should focus on each minute and the fact that the pendulum gets to do each one of those swings, and each one is important and has its own moment for that time. So that we shouldn't worry about the big picture. Maybe we need to go a little bit smaller and enjoy each and every moment. After the author's father and mother had died, her writing started to describe God in more intimate, motherly-like pictures. And you'll see that in some of the wording in Day by Day. It really wasn't intended as a feminist thing. Rather, she was from the Moravian culture, and in the Moravian language, mother language was quite common. So that was really the driving force behind that. So this is Day by Day. Just very relaxing. And last but not least, the sending hymn, Faith of Our Fathers. This was actually written by a Roman Catholic for the Roman Catholics. It became very popular, sentimental, a feel-good expression kind of song of the 19th century. It was kind of combining the folk tune with the patriotic and the militaristic religious roots, putting it all together in one place. Fathers in this context actually did not refer to fathers as mother and father. It referred to priests, if you go back to the Roman Catholic roots there. But it was understood to refer to everyone. So toward the end of the 20th century, became to be seen as sexist, and some altered the text to accommodate that. Our hymnal ELW does that with the writing of new verses 2 through 4, which is what we'll be singing tomorrow. And many other congregations did that too, and sometimes they changed it to Faith of the Martyrs is what they used instead of fathers. So this will be Faith of Our Fathers. So hopefully there was something that you enjoyed and maybe something new you've learned this evening as we went through those hymns for tomorrow. If you're joining us in person tomorrow, our in-person worship services are at 8:30 and 10:30 here in the sanctuary. And if you'll be joining online, that will be live streamed at 10:30 on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining. Have a great evening.